Welcome back to All Things Pistons, Episode 7, Detroit Nation. We're glad to be back. A little bit of a break between our last episode, between holidays, sick, sleep, all of the above. All the fun stuff, at least.
Yep. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes. Hopefully everybody had a great holiday. Got to enjoy some good food. Man, we got a lot of stuff to cover today since the last episode. And I feel like first and foremost, we got to jump right into the elephant in the room is the injury, man. Cade's injury.
Oh.
Such a blow. It's that was a tough one to hear. What are your thoughts? Cade's injury.
It's devastating, man. Out of everybody.
Right, of all people.
It's like some people are like, well, every team suffers injuries. I'm like, well, we're not good enough to lose our best players, so that really hurts.
Yeah.
Not to mention he's just our stud number one and put in all this work and
all the hype going into the year and all the work he did in the offseason to lose him less than 20 games in is just that hurts. Especially year two. Like I had expectations of, oh man, I can't wait to watch him this year. And then we're not even 20 in, and I mean we are 20 in now, but it's a lose him. That hurts.
Yeah. Sounds like there's indifference within the team too. Like Cade wants to kind of let it heal on its own and take it as it comes, and the team kind of wants to do surgery now and put this behind us. You're young. You got a lot of good years ahead of you, so take care of yourself first.
And I wonder how serious the injury is, right? Like, of course he wants to play. It doesn't hurt that bad. I'll be fine. Put some tape on it, throw a little dirt on it, give me a shot. I'll play. But if they're saying, to shut him down for future injuries, like it could be reoccurring or popping back up. I mean, I'm with that too. Like, fix it now, man, because we know we're not competing this year. Next year, maybe for a playoff spot. But I think it's that fourth year is the golden ticket year with the money we got to spend and all these guys getting to where they need to be. Obviously, we want to see that starting next year, but also we don't want to blow it by we're not going this year. We're not going to pick up the trophy.
Yep, and I think all Pistons fans have that Grant Hill in the back of their minds too. So
how can you not?
Shut it down right away.
yeah, literally shut it down. Don't do that. Don't do that. So it's tough, man. It's really tough right now, and it's kind of funny to watch the team play because we're down. Cade's out, Stu's out. Who else is out right now? That is, it's
Saddiq's out.
Saddiq's out.
Got a couple guys out tonight, but
and with those three being out alone is like that's tough. That hurts. Those are your three of your growing pieces heading into the year and who we want to see play. And then for them three to be out and us to go on a winning streak is weird, but awesome.
I know. It's like it's the beginning of the season. I was like, God, just wait till our bench is back. Like, wait till everyone's healthy and see this team in full. And then we get our bench back, and down goes Cade, down goes Stewart, Bay's out. And it just keeps piling up, man. This team can't catch a break.
Yeah, and literally that's like to see the way the team is playing without them three, like that's where we could be. Like imagine inserting those three guys and they're all playing that well with how good we're playing now with the bench back healthy. That's scary. That's awesome, but it's that could be a scary lineup.
And if there is a silver lining, Killian's getting a ton of experience, which is coming at the right time. He's kind of starting to figure it out. So he needs these extra minutes, and
he needs all the minutes he can get.
Ivey's had to step up and grow a little bit. And so, I think it's good for the guys for the future. Get a little extra playing time they want to get some extra shots they wouldn't see with Cade on the floor, but
for sure.
Yeah, it's tough.
And some of those guys are getting minutes, and I got to be on record on camera. I owe Kevin Knox an apology. I mean,
Oh,
I was talking filthy about that man. Just filthy, just terrible. What are we even doing? And I mean, last games we had what? He had 20-3, and then he had, what was the next one? 11-5, and then I think he had 17-8 in the other. So it's
Man.
like, sheesh. Okay, I could take that consistently off the bench.
Yeah, and yeah, I think the last 3 games he's shooting 53%. It's kind of funny because like when I pictured us fully healthy, I was kind of like, who's gonna be out? Is it Diallo or is it Livers? I'm like,
Right.
if Casey wants athleticism, he's gonna go Diallo. If he wants some shooting, he's gonna go Livers. But then now all of a sudden, like Knox is kind of both those. Like he's
Literally.
athletic freak, he plays defense, and he can shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like,
I owe that man a 1,000% apology. Knox, I know you'll never see this episode, but I apologize for slandering your name the way I did because it's he works right into that group of young kids. It's
yeah.
We have so many expectations of this team, and we bash them, or all these groups bash them all year long. But if you really think about like when were you the best at your basketball game, like grown man game, to where you felt like I could do everything on the floor and I dominated? For me, it wasn't until late 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I was like smart. I knew it was the right moves to make, and not that they shouldn't already, but like you get into that grown man game, it's just like Jordan. You didn't start winning championships till 30.
I mean, look at our very own Chauncey. Like,
yes,
dude was in the league for a while before he figured it out.
Didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
So
Not
yeah,
to put
it's
Knox on that level, but
same
thing.
Don't get that one twisted up. It's just like for the whole team though, right? Because like everybody is just dogs Killian, which, and some of that he deserves because some of the decisions he makes are pretty bad, but like just 21 years old. Yep. He's nowhere near prime. So yeah, and what do you think about like the move for Bay to the bench? Like, do you think that, I mean, we didn't get to see too much of him coming off the bench because he rolled his ankle, but what do you think that's going to do for him and like his role with the team?
I think it was like the day before that happened, we said on the pod about possibly moving Bay to the bench, or so that was crazy. I'm like, he could probably try those lineups for a few minutes, but no, Casey pulled the trigger, and like, I was kind of shocked, to be honest, but I was good with it. I was kind of impressed with Casey on that.
Like actually doing it?
Yeah, like shaking things up that big. Yeah. And I think it works. And then Stewart got hurt, so we never really got to see what him and Bagley look like. But I really want to see Duren start when Stewart comes back over maybe with Duren and Stewart, and maybe you see a little Duren and Bagley and see which one works better.
For sure.
Because I mean, Duren's just been a beast, and he's matured so much. He's got crazy footwork. He's starting to get those putbacks now, little up and under moves, and I'm like, we need his presence on this, his defensive presence on this team.
Oh, for sure. And like like you said, defensive, like both ends of the floor with Duren, to see him doing that at 19, like, oh my God, this dude is he is a freak show. I thought Ivy was the steal of the draft, but I don't know anymore.
Man, and I will give Casey props. He's been letting Duren close out these games, despite how good Bagley's been playing. I know you got some stats on how he's been doing lately. He's been tearing it up, but it's still like Casey's letting Duren finish out.
And I like them together on the floor.
Yeah,
because you can open up that floor. Because I don't compare their games, but you look at Bagley, he's like a Chris Bosh. Like he's not, he will post you up if he needs to, if the size is there, but his mid range he's hitting the mid range. He can step out, 12, 13 feet, knock a jumper down. Yeah, man, it's interesting to see what could come of the Twin Towers, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
my thinking with if we went Stewart and Duran, just how, especially when Cade's in there and Ivy's in there, well, and
Yeah.
Bay or Bogey, I guess, how terrible they are defensively. Like if you have Stu and Duran back there, I mean that picks up the slack a lot.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And yeah, we touched on Knox's play. But yeah, man, you just said it was Bagley. I couldn't help but notice his numbers. The last 3 games, let's see, against the Jazz, 19 points, 6 boards, 9 for 10 from the field. And then Denver, 14. He only had 14 and 3, which I'll take 14. That's not terrible. But he shot 7 for 8 from the floor. And even in the loss to Sacramento, he only had 15 and 6, but he was 5 for 9 from the floor. His consistency is just like the dude's a bucket. He's a walking bucket.
Yeah, that was great. They were booing him every time he touched the ball, like he was some
I wanted
star.
Him to drop 40.
And they're just butthurt over this bench player they didn't even play. Like,
yeah,
why do you guys care?
Yeah.
But they were booing him like he was the franchise that left him. But
literally. Like he wanted out and requested it.
Yeah. Like he didn't feel that at all. He took it out on him.
Oh,
even blocked he swatted Sabonis once and like was yelling. I'm like, easy defensive presence there.
Settle down, player. Yeah. Settle down.
Let's not get too carried away now.
Let's not get ahead of yourself here. Yeah. You still lost. But I think that's been the big difference. Like, even though we lost that game, it was a heck of a game, man. We were put up 120 something points. They balled out. And I mean, that's not, obviously nobody's playing defense when you're getting into points like that. But I think that's been the biggest difference is Burks and Bagley really showing up, because you look at those 3 games as well. Burks went he had 18 and 3 with only 19 minutes against the Jazz, and then 21 points against Denver and only got 21 minutes. And then he dropped 16 against Sacramento. So like you add those 2 on just like we said about getting healthy with the bench. God, I want to see this team fully healthy. Man. Everybody firing on all cylinders. Like, we got a squad, man. I don't care what anybody complains about, who they complain about. If we could be 100% healthy, they're just starting to gel, and we're not even close to All-Star break yet.
And we're missing 3 starters.
Literally 3 starters.
I've been really impressed.
Yeah, like, no, I love it.
At least on the offensive end, like they're starting to be a little more consistent. We're starting to hit shots. Yeah. And a lot of that is Burks being back and Kevin Knox stepping up, because we desperately needed some shooting. But having those guys, just getting the full team together, we've been playing really good.
For sure. I just hope that those 3 can keep it up. Knox, Burks, and Bagley. I think Burks is for sure. Like, that's just his game. Like, he's a walking bucket and locks up on defense. That's just what he's known for. But I just hope we see that consistency from Knox. Even if he's only getting I don't need 20 a night from you. Right, but if you're getting 15 minutes, don't be shooting it off the side of the backboard, over the hoop. Don't like you did the first 5 games. I was like, man, we gave this dude a 2-year deal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I don't think he played much last year at all.
Mm-mm.
I know he ended up
a chance.
Yeah, not since I think his rookie season with the Knicks, which I thought he played pretty decent. Like this kid's got a little potential, and then he just got buried.
Yep,
buried on the bench, and then last year traded to the Hawks at the end of the year, and they were established with the rotations. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't cracking that lineup.
No, so. Weaver likes rolling the dice on those early picks that just didn't pan out. I mean,
the young kids
and Josh Jackson. I mean, doesn't always work out, but it costs us nothing. So
it's not like we.
Yeah, and you can. It's usually a team option for the second year, so like you can let them go at the end of the year if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, and it's
No
not like
risk at all.
the contracts are terrible, right? So even if it doesn't work out, you know what? You got to go. We'll eat
Yeah.
the money. It's only a 2-year deal, whatever. This ain't working. So it's
Yep.
not like there's a Blake contract or I'd hate to say it, a Josh Smith contract,
Oh gosh.
Ben
Yeah.
Gordon or contracts like that. Like people forget like what we had to go through to get those contracts off the books just to get to this team, and we're expecting NBA championship already, which is you want to win as a fan. It's been a rough time, but also it's just enjoy the youth as they grow,
Yeah.
if you will. Oh, and I wonder about the move to the bench for Bay, man. Like, is there something that's eventually going to come out that we don't know about? Because now we got all these trade talks about Bay being traded. He got moved to the bench. He got hurt. Hasn't played very well. I mean, I wouldn't even call it consistent, and I can't even call it consistent. He hasn't played well at all to start the year, and he didn't last year. But
Yeah.
now all of a sudden he's at the headlines of watch out for Bay on the move. I wonder if there's something going on or it's just moving on. I don't know.
Yeah. I will point out, like, he started really slow last season,
Yeah.
and till like after December before he finally started rolling, and then he dropped that 50-point game on Orlando. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just a really slow starter, but I guess we'll find out later in the season. And it says Pistons are taking calls for Bay, but I'm pretty sure they take calls on every dude on that roster.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
move with the bench move of Bay, like it's kind of a little clickbait there, I guess. A
Yeah,
little more juicy topic.
Yeah, and I feel like it's media driven too, right? Like
for sure. But I just want to say, for people that think we're gonna trade Bay for a stud, it's not gonna happen. So
no.
if Bay, like, yeah, it's I don't realistically see a trade happening unless it's like part of a bigger package.
Right.
Because what are you gonna get for Bay? Like
A similar player?
Yeah, a future draft pick, and you hope he turns out decent like Bay.
Right.
Or
yeah, and I'm not ready to move on.
Nah.
Not yet. And I think it's more just like you said, clickbait and like let's throw something out there to get people talking about it. They know how us Detroit fans are.
Yeah.
We're gonna take something, we're gonna blow it up to the biggest thing possible. He's trash, he's fighting the coaches. It's good, all these stories and rumors, and I'm just not I think he's too young. I keep using the young one. I know everybody's gonna get sick of hearing that. But like it's the truth. Like they have to grow into their roles and be basketball players.
Yeah, and we all know what kind of workhorse he is. I think kind of the bench move is going to help him because, like, when he really started turning it up last year was about the time Jeremy Grant got injured, and he kind of became that second man. And now with Ivy and Bogey, like, he's not getting his shots. So moving to the bench, like, it's kind of his squad. Burks doesn't need the ball. Like,
no,
he just fills in. So, like,
yeah,
they can kind of just run that bench and get his shots in and find his rhythm. So it might be good for him. Might be good for everybody.
Yeah, and I like the size and the defense it brings to that second lineup too. You're running him and Burks out there at the 2 and the 3. Like I love that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, man. So it's a lot of stuff to look forward to. A lot of things going on, and it's I know another topic that we had down was how much Bogey's playing. Bojan, like that dude's taking on some minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of scaring me. Like he's carrying the load. He's been amazing too, but like we've had so many back-to-backs already, and we just had a crazy road trip, and like he's just pounding the minutes, and like he's no young spry chicken anymore. Like that's a lot.
Yeah,
he doesn't have Donovan Mitchell
energy.
Yeah.
And I wonder why is it so different nowadays than it was back then? Like what changed? Because they played just the same amount of minutes. They played the same amount of games. I don't know. It's it's weird that the game is a little bit faster and people are much bigger. So maybe that's part of like the running, the banging. But I mean, they still did that back then, but
Yeah.
it's got to wear on you.
Like growing up, like to be 32, like some guys were already losing at that point.
Oh, for sure.
Like 34, like you're about done. But now
Yeah.
guys are playing great at 34. So
Yeah, look at LeBron. He's 76, still going, trying to get a game in with his son.
So I mean, they're being babies, but
yeah,
they're also playing like 2 extra contracts.
For sure.
So it's working out great for them.
For sure. Yeah, man, it's exciting. It's still exciting to me. I'm nowhere near like the give up point like most people are. Like, trade this, do that, wear garbage, shut it down. So here's a fun one for you. Gun to your head, you can only keep 2 guys from the team, and everybody else has got to go. Who's your 2 guys?
That's definitely tough.
Only 2.
Cade for sure is staying. Man.
Hard question.
I'm probably going to take Ivy, but my heart says Durant.
I
just think he has so much upside.
Oh
but
my
like
gosh.
Ivy's close already, so like
yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, and it was one of like the hardest decisions. And for me, and even now, like as I'm trying to say it, I'm like literally my brain's saying, "No, you don't want to do that." Like it's talking me out of it. Cade 1,000% is a lock, but I think I'm keeping Durant. Yeah. Like that is that's a generational center that we got that can literally do everything, and he's only 19. But that sucks because Ivy is a freak. He can't play any defense, and I still haven't seen it. But that's a tough question. That's a tough one.
Kind of like what we were saying the other night. Would you trade Ivy in a package for Devin Booker?
Ooh, what do you think about that, Detroit? Good.
I would honestly have to pull the trigger, but I would want to keep Durant. Like,
yeah,
I just think Cade, Durant, and Booker. Now that's scary.
Hey, yeah, and we talked about this the other day. I know you guys, you Pistons fans, you want to win now, but 2024.
Booker showed up to his press conference with the Lions hat on, so that's kind of where all this is coming from.
He showed up, and you see the video I sent you the other day? He showed up in the old school 96 Impala.
Yep.
I mean, he's just Detroit through and through.
Yeah, he is.
There's no reason for him to not come home. That's all there is to it. 2024, We're going to win a championship. It's going to be Cade. It's going to be Durant. It's going to be Book. Hopefully it's still Ivy too, and they can figure out how to work that out. But give me Devin Booker, man. He's only 26 years old.
Man. All day, I'll take that.
All day. Perfect. So who we got tonight? Tonight is
we got Devin Booker tonight.
Oh man, I'm over here hyping it up. No, I gotta stay up. Yes, and we got D Book.
But we're missing half the team. So Killian's out with a hip, with his hip issue. Sounds like my grandmother. He's actually, I think I might take her hip because
literally
he's been struggling with this for the last
that hip's
year and
been
a
going
half.
on for 2 years now. I don't know if you need a new hip player, but figure it out.
He's got way nicer teeth, but Grandma's got the better hip. So
yeah, Grandma's got the hips.
But Killian's out. Ivy's got a sore knee. Sounds like he's out, and Diallo's got a sickness of some kind. They didn't really specify, so
must have got some tooth in them.
Yep, we're gonna be tight tonight. Once again, Bogey's gonna be carrying the load.
Put your FanDuel on Burks, Bagley, and Bohan.
Yep. Yeah, on the positive side, Bagley's gonna get up a lot of shots, and we might see a little more Kevin Knox. So I saw a great meme earlier. It showed Kevin Durant and Kevin Knox, and it said, "Which I said something like, which Kevin's better? One is the better shooter, and one needs to do calf raises. I was like, a Pistons fan made that one, but
100%. Kevin Durant has the definition of chicken legs, straight to his hip.
Yeah.
So
we're pumping Knox already, so it's good stuff. But,
I love it.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, all right, guys, we'll be back again here soon. A lot sooner than the last episode. We'll have episode 8 coming up this week. So we appreciate you guys. Always give us a follow, give us some feedback. All platforms. We are All Things Pistons. Give us a follow on YouTube. Let us know what you think, and then we'll be back soon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.